us to go for, slide into the Discord. It is wide open DPG. And we'll squeeze a little bit more blood out of this stone.
Yo.
DPG!
How's it going?
Let's go. What's going on, brother?
So, big news for the Fire, huh?
John Jader Duran sold for 18 or up to 22 million to Aston Villa.
So, it makes you wonder that right now, the Fire, yes, the Chicago Fire, is sitting on a pile of money. And now we have to see what they're going to do with that money. Like, we never been in this situation before. Right? This is the same amount of money that it cost Andrew Hoffman to buy the club back in 2007, by the way.
About 40 million.
40 million.
Yeah, we just sold two players for about that. That's incredible.
So, you know, and it could go higher. It could go up to 22 million if Duran, you know, has a breakout season or fulfills certain contractual obligations. Same thing with Gaga. We sold him for 10 million, but it could go up to 15. So potentially, you know, the Fire could actually walk away with close to 40 million. And on top of that, I believe there's also, they put a transfer fee clause on the agreement, meaning that if Villa decides to sell the player, the Fire gonna get a percentage of that.
Again, so, another percentage.
Again. Yeah. So, yeah. So wow. Think about that. That's a lot of money. At the same time, though, one of the big things that kind of sticks out for me is whether or not we have become a selling club to a point that we're willing to sell and sacrifice our performance on the field just to get transfer money. Like, you know, in the perfect world, we should be competitive and also be a selling club.
Right. There's definitely some truth to that, but also you got to wonder behind the man, because, like, I mean, if Chelsea's coming in for Gagasunina and he's like, guys, you guys got to let me go. Like, what can you do then? What, I mean, like, at a certain point, like, the player takes control of the reins and it's no longer in the club's power.
Yeah.
I think. So then all of a sudden they, as a club, they got to pivot. They got to find the replacement. Luckily, the Fire do have a built-in replacement for Gagasunina. Not so much for John Duran.
Yeah. And I believe it's becoming a habit now that we're producing goalkeepers. You know, first Sonina, then Brady, and then I hear there's another kid down the pipeline. So, you know, it's great, but it makes you wonder if, you know, we could actually produce other players in other positions that will be beneficial to the first team. And who knows? Who knows how long we'll be able to keep Brady? Might get, you know, 2 seasons from now, he might get sold, and then we'll be in the same situation again. We need a goalkeeper. So we'll see. We'll see what the Fire does with the money. They have a lot of money now that they could spend. They pretty much, whatever they spent on Jairo Torres, on Shaqiri, you know, even Casper, they pretty much regained all that money back plus more.
Mm-hmm.
So
and they're going to get some money back in the form of funny money, I thought, too. Because I don't know how much they get of this transfer fee.
Yeah. So I think I read somewhere it was like 1,000 GAM or something like that, or TAM. I don't know. I don't know what this money.
There's some sort of funny math where it's gonna be like, oh, you're gonna get some of this money back in GAM.
Yeah, it's just
coupons. Here's a stack of coupons.
Which honestly, I wish that the MLS would do away with this TAM GAM stuff and just have just give us regular greenbacks, you know?
Right.
But yeah, I'm really curious to see who the Fire are gonna sign, and I believe, based on what Alex Campbell said on Twitter a few days ago, they are looking for a DP9. So The question is,
yeah, this Tom Bogert just released something saying that they're trying to sign a DP number 9. South Korea international Hwang Wee-jo of Nottingham Forest is among the targets. I don't know if he'd be a DP number 9. U22 initiative signing is also a target.
well, and not only that, but wasn't Griezmann here last night at the Bulls game?
Antoine Griezmann is not coming. No way. He's still got gas in the tank, right?
But he's been, his situation's a little odd because,
31 years old.
31 years old. He was in and out of Barcelona lineups. I think they were holding him back to prevent him from triggering a contract clause.
Right.
So, so he never really had a whole lot of playing time. I know now he's back at Atletico, but I mean, I don't know what to make out of that. I mean, whether or not someone from the Fire will reach out to him and said, "Hey, let's have these conversations," that remains to be seen. That'll be interesting. Honestly, I always felt that if you have a player like that wants to go to the Bulls game and he's a big fan of the Bulls, the smart thing will be to approach him. Say,
Memo
hey.
Ochoa was one such player, but we had a roadblock in Gagasunina.
Yeah, and then you when you have a situation like that, the smart thing or the smart money will be, hey, reach out to have someone to talk to him. Hey, I know you're enjoying the Bulls game, but would you like to talk about potentially checking us out?
Hey, this is so hey, come and join us in this. Like you invite them, you put them in one of the boxes, right, upper boxes.
Yeah.
And they just happen to be sharing it with Joe Mansueto and Nelson Rodriguez.
Yeah, you make a dinner date out of it,
Gator kites, but Nelson Rodriguez is there for some reason.
Yeah, you make a dinner day out of it. You say, hey, you know what? How about dinner tomorrow night or lunch tomorrow? We'll go.
Let's
take
go
him out
talk this over at Chicago Cut. Yeah.
So you take him out to the best steakhouse or whatever he's into, whether it's pizza or steak, whatever. And you talk bread. You talk, hey, how do you feel about coming and playing for the city? Blah blah blah, and give him, hey, we could throw in some Bulls floor side seats. I know the owner, but something like that. But I hope someone had some sort of conversation with him from the Fire. So yeah, I mean, based on what Tom Bogart's saying over here, so he knows that we're going to sign a DP9, which is what we're looking for. I don't know how this. I mean, South Korea has a great national team, have great players. I just don't know how, Hwang Wee-jo from Nottingham is gonna really be that player that we need. And I do agree that for the U20 initiative signing, yeah, it should be a South American team, South American player that comes from a championship caliber team. We have the money to pay for it, so why not?
This guy's 29 years old.
How many goals does he have?
He's not fast, but he's not slow. He can shoot. How tall he is? How tall? I don't know how many goals he has yet. Let me double check.
Let me check transfer market here.
Yeah, he has received an offer from an MLS side 6 days ago. And we've been hearing that. I would not be surprised.
So let's see. He has 53 caps for Korea, 16 goals. Okay, so there's potential there.
Nottingham Forest striker Hwang Wee-jo admitted that his decision to leave Bordeaux in the summer has yet to pay off. South Korean talisman was signed by the Reds and sent packing straight on a season-long loan to the Greek champions Olympiacos. So, this guy has been he's been having some trouble, it seems, the past few years.
Yeah.
Making it work. And so do the Fire really want this guy? Unless he can make it work. I mean, look at Shaqiri. Shaqiri's been in the similar position where it's sometimes it's can he make it work? And then he comes up in Chicago and he scores more goals and assists than Gareth Bale and is still not retired.
I think he's only had what, one goal? And one goal, is it one goal?
No way, one goal.
One goal in 14 games. Yeah. One goal in 14 games. It's not good. I mean, this is a little bit risky. Somewhat of a gamble. Because we sure as hell do not need another Kasper Shabilko situation either.
This article is not make this seem like anything but a bad signing. So, Forest striker UG disappointed by summer transfer window, blah, 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 blah. You'll likely get very short odds at the bookies for the South Korean to leave Forest without ever having played a game. He's 30 now, and if Forest stay in the Premier League, it's hard to imagine him getting a crack to shine for them. He's also not getting him minutes at Olympiacos, where he's currently loaned out. So likely there's a big change on the cards, aka Chicago Fire or somebody else. But they're saying the striker was an odd signing. His age and his production just weren't there.
Yeah, I mean, he's, like I said, so far for this season, he's played 14 games. He only has one goal.
We already have Kasper Prishabilko. Why do we need a second Kasper Prishabilko?
Actually, let me take that back. Let me correct myself here.
Unless he's not.
He has 0 goals and 1 assist.
Whoa, so Kasper Prishabilko has more goals.
So yeah, he started 11 times. He started 5 times. Substituted once in the past 5-6 games. So he's been starting. He just hasn't been scoring.
Yeah, I don't know. That does not seem like a good move for the Chicago Fire. It does not seem like a good spend for that money. And this, once again, reeks of desperation before the season starts. Let's get somebody in, because now we got to do a panic move because we just lost our starting striker for the year. We thought we were going to have until May or June.
So looking at his stats for Olympiacos, he hasn't played a game with them since October 17th.
They don't want him to play a game, and there's a reason for that. And he's not injured.
Well, he's holding off for. He wants to get out of there. That's what it is. Nottingham doesn't want him. Olympiacos doesn't want him.
His agent is hoping he can get Chicago Fire to want him.
Of course.
Maybe this guy owes the agent a favor. Maybe Gilroy owes the agent a favor.
Possibly, man. But this guy is unless he has a breakout season, I mean, depending how much money the Fire are going to spend on this guy. I mean, how long do you give a guy like this to produce goals?
This guy, his best chance to make the World Cup is to do well here at Chicago. So, he needs this move. I'm reading this. This is from him. The summer transfer market was unfortunate, but I couldn't help it. I tried to make the best choice, but there's nothing I can say. Of course, I dream of the World Cup in 4 years, the 2026 one. I think that if I do my best every day, there will be good results. He's a South Korean. It would be a lie to say that there was no regret. The World Cup was a dream since I started playing soccer. Now the World Cup is over. My team and I have to go and do well. So, you got a hungry player. That's always a good thing. You like to get hungry players.
Yeah, you want a hungry player. I'm sure Kasper was hungry too, but it didn't pan out for him.
No, it did not.
You know what? I know lightning doesn't strike twice, but I would say, man, why not go sign a DP9 from Brazil or Argentina or something
Just
like
some
that?
guy that nobody's ever heard of. or like I've
But
kind of
so,
heard of on FIFA. They're like, oh,
yeah,
that
it's
guy.
kind of at least some guy that every now and then will pop up because his team beat so and so in the Copa Libertadores or something like that. Not some guy that's playing in the second division in Brazil, God forbid, or some guy that might be in the radar to get called up for the Brazilian national team or the Argentine national team. So I
Go check
would
out
say a
Paul
guy like
Mullen. He always does well for me in Football Manager.
Paul Mullen.
Go check out Paul Mullen. He always does well for me in Football Manager. He's got 18
yeah.
goals this season. He's
Yeah,
got
with
18 goals. Yeah, dude, he fucking dominates in my Football Manager save. He gets like 30 goals a season.
Keep in mind that he's actually playing out of his league. When I mean by that, before Wrexham signed him, he was already on his way to play in League 2 or something like that. So, he was already playing at a high level. So for him to come back,
So yeah, okay. Huddersfield Town, Morecambe, Swindon Town, Tranmere Rovers, Cambridge United, Wrexham in 2021. Holy shit! He only got on Wrexham in 2021.
Yeah,
I have brought this guy to my soccer. I have brought this guy to Wrexham so many times. He
wanted to be close to family.
Before he ever came to Wrexham. That's so weird that I did that, and he came to Wrexham. Oh, that's weird. We got an FC Tokyo Neo Tokyo sighting.